You're walking through a crowded park. Birds chirp, kids laugh, and a man in a bright purple suit rides a unicycle past you. Later, a friend asks, "Did you see that clown on the unicycle?" You didn't. How could you miss something so strange? The answer lies in a famous psychology experiment, one that changed how we understand human attention forever. The experiment was created by two psychologists, Christopher Chabris and Daniel Simons. At the time, Chabris was a young researcher studying how the brain handles complex tasks. Simons was deeply curious about visual perception and memory. Both worked at Harvard University, where they teamed up to explore a simple but powerful question. How much do people miss when they're focused on something else? Chabris and Simons knew that attention was limited, but they wanted to prove it in a way anyone could understand. They didn't use fancy machines or complicated tests. Instead, they filmed a playful, quirky video that would become one of the most famous experiments in psychology history. Here's exactly what they did. They filmed 6 actors in a small room. 3 wore white shirts and 3 wore black shirts. Each group passed a basketball back and forth. The video was 75 seconds long. Viewers were told to count how many times the players in white passed the ball. It seemed straightforward, but there was a twist. Halfway through the video, a student named Kyle Roche, dressed in a full-body gorilla suit, walked into the frame. He moved slowly to the center of the screen, stopped, turned to face the camera, pounded his chest like a gorilla, and then walked off. The gorilla was on screen for 9 seconds. After watching the video, participants were asked 2 questions. 1. How many passes did you count? 2. Did you notice anything unusual? If they didn't mention the gorilla, they were asked directly, "Did you see the gorilla?" The results shocked even Chabris and Simons. Roughly 50% of people missed the gorilla completely. They were so focused on counting passes that their brains erased the gorilla from their awareness. Chabris and Simons designed the experiment carefully to test inattentional blindness, the brain's habit of ignoring unexpected objects when focused on a task. Here's what made their work special. It was relatable. Unlike lab experiments with blinking lights or beeping sounds, this felt real. People understood counting passes. The gorilla was silly but impossible to ignore, or so they thought. It debunked a myth. Many people believed they'd notice obvious surprises. This experiment proved otherwise. Even smart, careful people missed the gorilla. It sparked debate. After publishing their findings in 1999 in the journal Perception, scientists argued, is this a flaw in human vision or a clever trick of the brain? Today, we know it's the latter. The experiment wasn't just about a man in a costume. It revealed 3 big truths. Your brain edits reality. Your eyes don't see everything. Your brain decides what's important. When you're focused on a task, like counting passes, your brain hides unimportant details, like a gorilla. This isn't a mistake. It's a survival skill. Imagine if your brain noticed every leaf, every sound, every flicker of light. You'd never get anything done. Expectations shape what you see. If you don't expect something, you probably won't see it. In a follow-up experiment, Chabris and Simons made the gorilla glow purple. Still, half the viewers missed it. Why? They weren't looking for glowing objects. Their brains said, focus on the passes. Ignore the rest. Memory can't be trusted. After the experiment, many people who missed the gorilla refused to believe it was there. They argued, I'd notice a gorilla. This shows how confident and wrong our brains can be. Chabris and Simons' work isn't just a fun trivia fact. It explains real dangers. Airplane crashes. In 1993, pilots landing in New York were so focused on a warning light that they didn't notice their plane was drifting sideways. They crashed, killing 27 people. Investigators later cited inattentional blindness as a factor. Medical errors. A nurse focused on a patient's heartbeat might miss a dangerous drug interaction on a chart. Studies show up to 50% of medical mistakes happen due to missed details. Everyday accidents. How many times have you lost your phone while holding it? Or missed a stop sign because you were daydreaming? That's your brain's spotlight narrowing too much. After the experiment, the pair wrote a best-selling book, The Invisible Gorilla, exploring how illusions of attention distort our lives. They also kept testing human perception. In one study, they had a man in a clown suit walk across a college campus. Most students didn't notice him, even though he was juggling and waving. Their work has been repeated worldwide. In Australia, researchers added a bright red helicopter to a video. Half the viewers missed it. In Germany, a study showed people missing a flying penguin in a game. The lesson stays the same. Focus is a superpower, but it has a cost. Chabris and Simons say you can't eliminate inattentional blindness, but you can outsmart it. Slow down. Rushing narrows your brain's spotlight. Pause to scan your surroundings. Work together. Teams catch more than individuals. Pilots, surgeons, and scientists double-check each other for this reason. Train your brain. Practice noticing small details. Try this. Every day, pick an object, a lamp, a tree, and study it for 10 seconds. Notice its color, shape, and shadows. The invisible gorilla experiment teaches humility. We're not the all-seeing, perfect observers we think we are, but that's okay. By understanding our limits, we can be kinder. Don't yell at someone for missing a detail. Their brain was focused elsewhere. Stay curious. The world is full of invisible gorillas. What else are we missing? Laugh at ourselves. Even experts like Chabris and Simons admit they've missed gorillas in their own experiments.